Today, 2K dropped the Wild Gems Super Packs again on Tuesday, so we do need to go over the new Snipe Filters, man, so let's get right to it. The first filter we're going to go over is the cheapest all filter, man. For this, you're going to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest cards on your console, which on PlayStation, they're selling for around 1500 MT. Loki, you can usually get them to sell for 1650 if you're a little patient, but if you want them to sell quicker, put them up for 1500 MT and they will sell, man. For this filter, you want to find the cheapest price and then drop your maximum buyout 500 MT cheaper than the cheapest one. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna sell them for 1500. We're gonna put our max buyout to 1000, which is probably what I suggest you use on either console, unless Xbox is like 2000 is the cheapest price. Maybe you can do like 1200, and you're just gonna refresh and snipe absolutely anything that pops up, man. Obviously, if we get an emerald or one of these really cheap gems of the game cards, we're gonna make profit, but it's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for the rubies and the amethysts and stuff to just pop up, and that's where you make a killing, or some of these rarer wild gems players that are part of the lock-in, whatever it is. Just make sure you check the price of every single card that you snipe, because there are a lot of cards that are super rare and do sell for more. So snipe absolutely everything that pops up. If it's a cheapo depot, throw it up for 1500, 1550, and just make your couple hundred MT profit. And then when you get a nice rare card, you're making lots of MT. Really good option early on in the year, so spend some time on here. The next filter we're going to go over is the ruby cheapest filter. For this, you're going to put your color to ruby, scroll your maximum buyout up till you find the cheapest rubies on your console, which on PlayStation they're selling for about 4700 MT right now. This one just got posted a little bit ago for 4K. I mean, you could literally buy it and sell it for a little bit of profit if you had patience, but we're not going to do that, man. So you want to go ahead and scroll on this filter, because there's tons and tons of more expensive rubies that can pop up on here. So you're going to scroll on the cheapest ruby just like this. If any Wild Gems card pops up, any Series 1 ruby pops up, they're all snipes, man. So if it's not a Gems of the Game card, I'm sure there's some Gems of the Game that are more expensive. I'm not sure, you guys would have to look into that, but you can buy those as well. And then any other ruby that pops up for about 2000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one, man, I'm looking to grab anything for 2500 MT and below. I'm sniping it and reselling it for profit. As you see, these Gems of the Game cards are a bit hard to sell. Even the one that's a 4000 mini little snipe has been up for 15 minutes. So you want to give yourself plenty of room for profit, probably so you can throw your card up for around 4000 MT as well, is what I personally would do. So 2500 and below on these ruby Gems of the Games. And then any Series 1 player, you get, you know, Kyrie to pop up. Any of the centers are super expensive. There's a lot of expensive rubies that sell for 15, 20, 25,000 MT. Buy those as quick as possible and resell for profit. Another thing you can do as well, we're just gonna lump it in with this one, is to add the theme Series 1 to your filter. So color ruby theme Series 1, and you're gonna scroll your buyout up till you find the cheapest Series 1 ruby, which is around 10,000 MT on PlayStation. Again, you're gonna scroll. Most filters you want to scroll. If there's more expensive cards that can pop up on it, you're gonna want to scroll, so that way you can snipe any of the more expensive cards. Scroll like this, grab any of the centers that pop up, any of the Kyrie, Curries, any more expensive ruby pops up, buy it as quick as possible, sell it for profit. Next filters we go over will show you some of the more expensive cards, but just, you know, centers, Curry, Trae Young, Kyrie, there's a lot of them that sell for 15,000 MT plus. Snipe them at this price point. And then if any Series 1 pops up for about 3000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one, so around 6,000 and below, pick them up and resell for profit as well. The next filter we're going over is a bit of a confusing one, so we're going to go over it. Pay attention, man. This is the Ruby Series 1 Division filter. For this, you're going to start by putting your color to Ruby, you're going to put your theme to Series 1, and then you're going to set your division to Southwest. You're going to scroll your maximum buyout up till you find the cheapest card on this filter. It's Southwest on PlayStation. On Xbox, it might be Southeast, or Central. These are the three divisions we're working with here. You want to find whichever one of these three divisions has the cheapest card on it. So we're on a one scroll just like this, man. Jaren Jackson Jr. on the Southwest division is the cheapest card. Every other card goes for about 20,000 MT or above. So you're going to go ahead and refresh on Southwest. Look for Jaren Jackson Jr. for around 12,000, like 5k cheaper than the cheapest one, or any other player that pops up for around 15,000 or about 5k cheaper than the cheapest one. So we're going to refresh on here. Jaren Jackson Jr. 17.5 is not what we want. Southeast division, again, it's going to say no matches found. You're looking, because every player on here is at least 20k, looking for around 15,000 MT. If there's a card up for 15k, buy it. Same with Central, 15k and below, and then just go back and forth and snipe any of these expensive rubies for 15k and below. And then specifically Jaren Jackson Jr., you just want any card, whatever the price they sell for about 5,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one, and you're in good shape for making a lot of profit. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Wild Gems colors filters, man. For this, you want to put your color to Ruby, you're gonna put your theme to Wild Gems, and you're gonna find the cheapest Wild Gems Ruby on your console. PlayStation, it's around 10,000. You can do this same filter for Amethyst and Diamond just by changing your color and changing your buyout. So we're gonna start at Ruby, go over this quickly. Refresh up, you're going to scroll because there are obviously much more expensive rubies that can pop up, like any of the lock-ins, Steve Nash, Mario Ellie, Kendrick Perkins, Danny Manning. If those pop up, you're making an absolute killing. And then there's probably just other random rubies that are more expensive as well. So you want to scroll on the cheapest one, snipe any Wild Gems player that pops up for, you want to give yourself plenty of room for profit on here as well. I would say like 4,000 to 5,000 MT cheaper, so 5,000 or 6,000 MT and below. If they pop up, buy them, resell them for profit. Again, about a 5k price point on these cards, and regardless of the tier, is a pretty safe bet, man. Amethysts are selling for about 17,000 MT, so grab them for 10, 11, 12,000 and below. It's a pretty good price. And then Diamond, you can give yourself a little bit more wiggle room. They're selling for 40k, so I would say to snipe them for about 8,000 MT and below to make sure you get profit. So if they're selling for 40, you can snipe them for 32 and below and then resell them for profit. Again, cards have been a little bit harder to sell at the start of the year, especially if they're not a card that typically somebody's going to definitely want on their team, one of the better players in the game. So keep that in mind. Diamonds are about 8,000 cheaper, so they've gone up since I just checked this 10 minutes ago, which is obviously a good thing. But you're going to want to snipe them still for around 8,000 MT cheaper, so 35, 36,000 MT if you're on PlayStation. Really good options. Obviously, these cards are in the game right now, and if you get one of the expensive lock-in diamonds to pop up, you're absolutely crushing it. You see a Raja Bell, you see a Louis Williams, whoever it is, man, you're crushing it, and you're making hundreds of thousands of MT. So hopefully you guys get lucky. Let me know in the comments if you do see anything like that. I would love to hear it. Same with on the Amethyst Wild Gems filter. Make note of all the amethysts that are part of the lock-in. Snipe those as quick as possible when they pop up while you're scrolling. The next filter we're going to go over is the Amethyst cheapest filter. For this, you want to put your color to Amethyst. You're going to raise your maximum bout up till you find the cheapest Amethyst on your console, which is Kiki. I got to get back into not saying this. Scroll your maximum bout up for every filter, because that's always the case. I'm going to try and work on that for you guys, man. Selling for about 12,000. Their price just went up even more. I was scrolling on 9.5k just a little bit ago. So anytime the prices are higher, it's obviously a W for sniping, because people will think that they were selling for 9k still or whatever when they were selling for 6,000-7,000 last week. If they pop up for that price, you're absolutely making a killing no matter who it is. You want to scroll on the cheapest Kiki, snipe her for about 4,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one. Amethysts are a little bit easier to sell, so 4,000 MT cheaper. So about, I mean, I would say 6.5k and below, just in case the price drops back down. You've got Kiki, that's about 11k. You have Kate Martin, who's the game on Amethyst cheapest, that's around 13,000. And then the next cheapest is Ricky Rubio at around 15,000. So Technically, if Ricky Rubio pops up, he's a pickup. You can make profit at 11,000 MT. But really, you're looking for anyone else not named Ricky Rubio, Kate Martin, or Kiki, and you're going to be in good shape. So scroll on this filter as well. Snipe anybody that pops up that's not named those 3 players. And obviously, wild gems are all 16, 17,000. Those are all pickups if they pop up. Really good option. I'm actually going to spend some time on here since it is such a higher price point than it was last week. Probably getting a decent amount of pop-ups on here, assuming that these set amethysts can be pulled in the wild gems pack. I would assume that's the whole point of the super pack, so they must be able to. So I like this filter a lot today. The next filter we're going to go over is the diamond cheapest filter. For this, put your color to diamond, find the cheapest diamond, which on PlayStation is selling for 21,000 MT right now. Their price just went up a tiny bit as well, which again is better because last week when this set dropped, they were all the way down to 15, 16,000. And right now at 21K, if they pop up for 15, 16,000, it's profit. It's a snipe every day of the week. So buy it as quick as possible if they pop up for 5,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one. So in this case, 16,000 MT and below. You can also buy this Kalia Cooper card, copper card, and enable her, and that'll take her off the scroll so you can raise your buyout up higher and just snipe all the expensive cards that are around 30, 32,000, something like that. The price has been fluctuating today. I've been spending a lot of time on this filter and been having a lot of luck on it. So really good option if you want to enable it and you have the extra MT. But with Kalia up around 22,000 MT now, it's literally, it's not necessary anymore. When she was 15K, it kind of killed the diamond filter unless you enabled her. But now that the price is up, you can scroll on the cheapest Kalia, snipe anybody else that pops up, any other card that's not named Kalia, and you're making a lot of profit when you sell them for 32,000 MT or much higher if it's a wild gems player or whoever the case may be, man. So really good filter. Like I said, I've been spending the most time on this filter and been having a lot of luck on it, so hopefully you guys will as well. The next filter that I still really like is the Diamond Arrival Western Conference filter. For this, you're going to put your color to diamond, put your theme to Arrival, and set your conference to Western. You can see all of the Arrival diamonds on this filter except for Kalia Cooper, which we just went over. She's selling for 20,000 MT. Everybody else is almost 60,000 MT or above. You're going to scroll on the cheapest Chris Paul, just like this, man. Looking to grab him for 10,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one. So right now he's selling for 59,000 MT on PlayStation. We're gonna snag him for 49K and below. If Marcus Camby pops up or Andrew Wiggins pops up, buy them as quick as possible. They're both around 100,000 MT and above. Camby sometimes goes for 130, 140. Really good option, man. I've had some success on here as well. I know on Friday a lot of people went crazy on this filter, so really good filter. I'm very high on this still, so I wanted to include it in the video again, even though it was in Friday's video. But I like it a lot. This takes out, this way if you don't have MT to enable Kalia Copper, you can still work a filter similar and get a lot of snipes, man. So hopefully you get a Chris Paul or a Wiggins to pop up for around 20 or 30,000, which is the cheapest diamond pricing, and you're absolutely making a killing. The next filters we're going to go over are the 500 max bid filters, man. A couple options on here. They're not the best right now, but I wanted you to keep it in mind because tomorrow and the next day when packs aren't out, these filters are absolutely great. Not a bad scroll. But to work these filters, you're going to put your color to diamond, you're going to put your maximum bid to 500 and put your minimum buyout to 500 and then refresh. I did bid 550 on all these cards, so if anyone is on PlayStation and wants to come through, if you guys bid on these same 4 cards, if you bid 550 again, they will be removed from your scroll, so you won't have to worry about it. I do need to say, be very cautious on this filter. Basically, you're gonna set it up like this: diamond, 500 max bid, 500 min bid, and then you're gonna scroll to the end of the filter. any card can pop up on here, and you might, so like Andrew Wiggins, right? There could be an Andrew Wiggins up for sale right now for 80,000 MT. So if someone posted a card for sale for 80,000 starting bid, 80,000 buyout, that card could be up for sale right now, not selling. But on here, if someone posts a Andrew Wiggins with a starting bid of 500 and a buy it now price of 100K, you wouldn't see the one that's up for 80, and you'd only see the one that pops up for 100K. So you might think it's a snipe and buy it, and then you go and look to sell them, and you find out there's 5 of them up for 80K, and you just lost MT. So be very cautious on here. Make sure you know your pricing, but these filters can be great. You can see any diamond on this filter as long as it's posted with a starting bid of 500. Not even any diamond at all that pops up for 15K and below. Any card that's not Kalia Copper for 22,000 and below, and then any diamond that sells for around 100K you can buy for 65, 70,000 MT and below. And then obviously the ones that sell for a lot of MT you can pick up for any price on here, like the lock-ins, Raja Bell. It's a really great option. You can see them posted for any price as long as they have a starting bid of 500. Another option, again, it's not good right now, but tomorrow it'll be great. It's the diamond 100K min bid filter. So for this, put your color to diamond, put your minimum bid to 100,000, and put your minimum buyout to 500. And then again, scroll through the filter. On this, you can only see the really expensive cards. Those are the ones you want to snipe. So you're going to scroll to the end, which has absolutely gotten worse in the last whatever. Brad was a snipe before. I don't think he is any longer, but you're going to scroll to the end. You're looking for any card that sells for over 120,000 MT on here. So any of the lock-ins, you've got, Ben Gordon. There's a lot of big men that are snipes, like Rick Smits is a snipe. Some of the other ones, Mark Eaton. Any of those pop up, pick them up as quick as possible, and then post them for 100K bid. Really good option for high end. Like I said, right now I would not work it with this insane scroll, but tomorrow it should be a 6-7 scroll probably, and it's definitely a good filter to be working if you want high end snipes. And the last filter we're gonna go over is the pink diamond filter. For this, you're gonna put your color to pink diamond, put your minimum buyout to 500, and refresh. There's an absolute ton of pink diamonds that are snipeable for this point of the year, which makes this filter actually worth working. Most of the times I tell people, at the start of the year, if you just feel like wasting your time and are feeling super lucky, go ahead and sit on here. But pink diamond's actually been popping up, man. Candace Parker, monitor her price. She might be a pass. Same with Paige, monitor her price as well. Sometimes they sell for profit, sometimes they don't. So you might want to pass on those if you only have 100,000 MT, but anybody else pops up, buy them as quick as possible and then post them for 100K bid, and you're making an absolute killing, man. That's it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, smash the like button for me. I would appreciate it. If you guys want to see us sniping from 0 to 100,000 MT, click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.